Welcome in, you guys. Hello, hello. We're going to be doing inequalities and functions today. So if you know anybody that loves math, share this live with them, or anybody struggling with inequalities, share this live with them. So we're going to start off by, this is the less than sign, okay? So this is less than. And then what we want to do is we want to solve for x, okay? We want to get x by itself. So in inequalities, I always say get your x to the left side. So this x is not on the left side, so we want to move it by minusing 3x to both sides. And then we get 5x minus 3x is going to give us 2x minus 2 less than, and then we're going to drop down our 8. Okay, we need the 2x by itself, so we have to get rid of this negative 2. So we're going to add 2 to both sides. We're going to drop down our 2x less than 8 plus 2 is 10. And then remember, whenever you have a number attached to a letter that's multiplied, so to undo that, we're going to divide. Okay, so we're going to divide both sides by 2. And we get x is less than 5. And that is our beautiful answer. Any questions on that first one? Welcome in, everyone. I hope everybody's having a wonderful Sunday. Thank you for the double taps. All right, let's keep it moving then. I don't see any questions coming in. So number 2. So number 2, okay, we want to get rid of this 2, okay? And remember, this is division. So in order for us to get rid of it, we want to do the opposite of division, and we want to multiply both sides by 2, okay? Because we're undoing the division. So 2 divided by 2 cancels, and you're left with x plus 3 is greater than or equal to 7 times 2 is 14. Can I see in the chat, how do we get x by itself? What do we have to move? Beautiful. Winner said x is greater than or equal to 11. I love it. Good. Maya said minus 3. Perfect. So we're going to minus 3 because we're doing the opposite of addition. And we have x is greater than or equal to 11. So this is our answer. Oh, okay. And that's our answer. All right, so we're going to distribute here for number 3. We're going to distribute. And we have negative 2 times x is negative 2x. And then negative 2 times negative 4. This is where most people mess up. Remember, it changed. A negative times a negative is a positive, and 2 times 4 is 8, and then less than negative 8. Any questions on the distributing part? Oh, wonderful. I love it that you love math. Computer science degree, I love it. So we want to move this 8 to the other side. So we're going to subtract 8, okay? We're going to end up with negative 2x is less than negative 16. Somebody owes you 8. They say, give me $8 more. They owe you a total of 16. All right. What do we do here? How do we get x by itself? Do you do technical math? Kevin, what is technical math? I got to look it up. Like, what type of math are you talking about when you say technical math? Oh, thank you. Divide by negative 2. Good. Okay. So you guys are saying it perfect. Divide by negative 2. I'm going to drop down my x. Okay. Let me see the answers in the chat here. Okay. X is less than 8. Okay. Gotta flip the inequality, right? Yes, Jeff. That's what I was looking for. Whenever you multiply or divide by a negative, you have to flip that sign, which a lot of people forget, when you're doing inequalities. They forget this. So it's actually 8 is greater than 8. Don't forget to flip that sign when you divide or multiply by a negative number in inequalities. Wonderful. All right, you guys. Perfect, perfect. Let's keep it pushing. So these are intermediate questions, okay? They do have, the GRE, they do have intermediate, advanced level. So that's what we're working on, okay? So number 1 here, we have some like terms that we can combine. We have 5x plus 2x. So we have, we could drop down this side. 6x minus 3 is greater than 5x plus 2x is going to give us 7x plus 1. And then we need to get our x's to the left side, okay? So we're going to do that by taking the opposite of this positive. So we're going to subtract 7x, and we're going to get negative x minus 3 is greater than 1. Okay. Oh, we want calculus because we're struggling on it. Oh, you know who's really good at and does a whole bunch of calculus is Ludus. He has like 1 point something million followers. He's really good. Any sites for free practice tests on what? For the GRE? I would just Google it. Good. So Winner said add 3. Beautiful. So we're going to plus 3. Now we have negative x is greater than 1. All right. Are we done? Ooh, okay. I see x is greater than negative 2. Oh, wait. What am I saying? 1 plus 3 is 4. Not 1. Good. Oh, thank you. Thank you, 1987. Thank you, thank you. All right, so we want to get this x by itself. So we're going to divide by a negative 1 here. But you got to remember, whenever you divide by a negative, you flip that sign. So it's going to be x is less than negative 4. Ooh, Calc 3. I was just reading a post. Somebody asked which calculus was the hardest. Calc 1, Calc 2, Calc 3. At first I was going to say Calc 1 because it's like a math. Like, it seems like Calc 1 was like, out of all the math classes, like that's the step up to like a whole nother way of thinking in the math world. But then I was thinking, that Calc 3 with those, with the 3D figures, like you got the the X, Y, and then they do the Z for Calc 3. That's when I was like, Calc 3 was the hardest. When you had to graph in the 3D, and it was a whole nother ball game. It's literally calculus of trig. Yes. Calc 3 was, I remember that. I don't get it. The tears, right? So we're going to undo this division of 3 and 3. So then I was like, okay, most definitely I would say Calc 3. For me, because of the 3D, where they had the 3D. And you literally had to like graph it. Calc 2, what I've heard, is the hardest. It just depends, I guess. For me, I think Calc 3, well, if they would take out that 3D stuff, then Calc 3 is real easy. But I don't know. That's what made it a whole nother level. So we divide by -5, divided by -5. Remember, we're dividing by a negative, so we have to flip that sign. And then 60 divided by a -5 is -12. And that is our answer. Oh, you going back to college soon? Are you like just starting like your like, are you just starting as a freshman, or like, I'm going back to college soon. So are you like a sophomore? Have you not taken any math classes yet? Nisi? Yeah, series, you right on that. Series is a bit hard too. So for number 3, you guys, we want this 0.5x by itself. So we're going to first minus 3 to both sides. And we're going to get 0.5x is greater than 7 minus 3 is 4. We're going to divide by 0.5. And so we get x is greater than 8. That should be our answer. Oh, I just joined. I can do, okay, so, but I definitely, oh, let me go back up. Hold on. Technically I'm a junior. Oh, okay. I just joined. Can you do another one of those questions? Yes, I can, Gloria. But I definitely failed math like 3 times. Oh, no. Well, most definitely, I'm going to be going live a lot this summer. So just jump on if you got questions. Put them in my, like when I make videos and post them. Tell me what you're working on if you're taking a math class this summer. You know, I feel like summer math, it goes by way quicker. And I think it's much easier to pass like an entry-level math class during the summer than it is during the semester-long classes. That's how I feel. Thank you for the roses. Oh, you're taking the CSET? I'm taking the CSET math subject. Are you taking... Cool. Oh, wonderful. So are you going to be a teacher? Oh, yes. Thank you, Nisi, for the bear. Thank you, you guys. Okay, so now we're getting into the advanced level, okay? So remember, whenever we solve inequalities, we want our x's on this side and our number on this side. So we're going to move this x, this 2x, by subtracting 2x to both sides. And we get x plus 5/8 greater than 5/6. Okay, now we need the 5/8 to the other side. Okay, so we're going to do that by doing the opposite of this sign. We're going to subtract 5/8 and subtract 5/8. Okay, this cancels and we get x is greater than. Now, what I always say, move your work over here. Okay, move your work over here when you have to do some more steps. So whenever we're subtracting fractions, we have to have the same common denominator, okay? So we have to think about what 8 and 6 can go into, the smallest, and that would be 24. So we want this to be 24 minus 24, okay? So what we're going to ask ourselves, 6 times what gives us 24? Well, 4, and what we do to the bottom, we have to do to the top. And then this side is going to be 8 times what gives us 24? 3 and 3, okay? So we get 4 times 5 is 20, and 5 times 3 is 15, okay? Oh, Eva said I need to pass my TSI so I can attend community college. Yes, I have TSI videos on my YouTube page. So if you're looking for extra math help, and also on my TikTok, I have like a whole list or a whole playlist of TSI questions. But longer videos, my lives that I've done for the TSI are on my YouTube page. So go check those out. It's under Impact Math. Okay. Impact Math 19. I post all my lives on my YouTube page and do mini lessons over there. Okay. So if you're looking for extra help. So 20 minus 15 is going to be 5 over 24. So we get 5 over 24. And this is our beautiful answer. Why do you bring down the negative 2x instead of the 3x? Because in inequalities, for me, I always want, like, whenever I seen it on any, like, like ACT or TEAS test or TSI, they usually always have the variable, especially in inequalities, they have the multiple choice answers with the variable on the left side. So that's why I always, for inequalities, I just say move your X's to the left side, because if you get a multiple choice test, the variable most likely, like 99%, will always be on the left side. Yep, no problems. No worries. Yes, and X always has to be positive too. Yep. All right. Tell him to wipe himself.
You can come get him?
No, tell him to do it.
Get him?
Tell him to do it. Okay, so number 2, we're going to distribute this 5 here and here. Okay. Okay. So we have 5 times X gives us 5X. And then 5 times 3 gives us negative 15 plus 7 less than 2X plus 7. Okay. Okay. You guys, give me just a second. My toddler needs me. All right. If you're still with me, sorry, I do have kids. All right, I'm back. Okay, so we have like terms here. We have like terms, negative 15 plus 7. Okay. So negative 15 plus 7, we're going to have 5X minus 8 is less than 2X plus 7, okay? Again, we want our X's on the left side. So this 2X is a problem because it's not on the left side. So we're going to do the opposite of positive. We're going to subtract 2X to both sides. And we're going to get 3X. We're going to drop down our minus 8 less than 7. Okay. Any questions on that so far? Any questions? Did I lose anybody? All right. No, I don't see any questions coming through. So then we have plus 8, and we have 3X is less than 7 plus 8 is 15. Okay. Whenever you have a number attached to a variable, remember that's multiplying. So we're going to undo that by dividing. And X is less than 5. Good. Sheriff, good. What are you sorry for? Don't be sorry. Sometimes I make mistakes. We are human. As long as we learn from them. Can you just make any of these numbers negative? Can you just make any of these numbers negative? No, we can't just make any of the numbers negative. Like if you're saying like, because I'm subtracting a 2X, because we're doing the additive inverse here. So we had a positive, so I had to subtract. And here I had a minus, so that's why I'm adding. I'm not sure if I get your question. If that makes sense. Okay. All right, so let's go here, okay? There's multiple ways on how we could do this problem number 3. I'm going to do it in a way where if you hate fractions, we're going to get rid of them, okay? And this is what you can do. You can multiply, it's called by the LCD. So what we can do is we can multiply everything by 8. So we can multiply this side by 8, and we can multiply this side by 8, okay? So 8 divided by 8 cancels, and it will leave a -5. And then 4 goes into 8 2 times. So we have 2 times -3. I'm going to write this like that. Okay, because we went 4 into 8 and that left a 2. And so we have 2 times -3x. Okay. Now we can multiply this. We can get -6x is greater than or equal to -5. Why did you divide by 8? So I didn't divide by 8. I multiplied by 8 to both sides. And so when I multiply by 8, what it's actually saying is 8, because it's already a division sign here, it's 8 divided by 8. And that's how come they cancel, because I wanted to get rid of the fractions. Thank you for the heart me. Mochas. Thank you, thank you. Thank you for the roses. Did that answer your question? And then that's why because remember, this is already division. So we did 8 divided by 4. And that's why that's why it left a 2 up here. Good, R. Good. So now we want x by itself. So we're going to divide both sides by -6. This cancels. And we get x, don't forget to flip that sign, is less than or equal to 5/6. Because the negative divided by a negative always goes to a positive. Oh my goodness, Mochas. Thank you for letting me know that. Oh, your classes made me score amazing on the ASVAB. Congratulations. I hope you're loving it. I hope you love your job. I hope you got a good paying job in that military. Congratulations. And thank you for letting me know. Because, sometimes it gets a little bit down. Like, you just be like, oh, am I really helping people? I mean, I know I help people, the people I teach and tutor. But it's like, okay, it's good. Keep on posting. So thank you for that. See, and I found your TikTok and passed with your help. Oh, thank you, Mimi, for letting me know that. Oh my goodness, you guys are coming with the testimonies. Thank you for the roses, Mochas. Thank you. And congratulations on passing your HESI test, Mimi. Congrats. All right, let's keep it going. That's what I'm talking about. Hopefully I haven't done that much GRE because I thought they were like kind of getting rid of the GRE, to be honest. But some people still have to take it to go to medical school. So I'm going to get back to it. So let's go here, okay? We always start with the number that's attached to the parenthesis. So we're going to distribute there. And so we're going to do 5x minus 2x. And then -2 times 3 gets us a -6, which is greater than or equal to 12. Okay. We have those like terms, and they're on the same side. So we're just going to combine them. So 5x minus 2x gives us 3x minus 6 is greater than or equal to 12. Okay. Would you do tutoring for the CSET? Yes, Diana, email me. Email me at impactmath19, okay, at gmail.com. Yep, most definitely. Future teacher. I love it. Myron, no, I do not tutor calculus. I used to when I used to work at the community college. Oh, I'm so mad. And then I became a high school math teacher. And then, I didn't teach calculus when I was a high school math teacher. And it would take me too long to be like having to like remember the process. You know, when you're a tutor, you want to just know it right off, you know, like be fluent in it rather than, wait, let me think about it. So I would second guess myself too much to be tutoring it. So we're going to move this -6 by +6. 6. But I am planning on starting to review my calc skills. So I was like, I can't be running away from it forever. I got a bachelor's in math. Like, come on. Plus, I do want to go back and get my master's. Because eventually, you guys, like my goal is to become a professor. So I want to divide by 3 here. Divide by 3. That's where I fell in love with teaching anyway, was at my community college, which is greater than or equal to 18. Oh, you thought it was a negative? No worries. Good. All right, here we go again. We have 7/10 x greater than -4/15. Now, let's just say you are okay with fractions, right? So remember, these are multiplied, right? So we would divide both sides by 7/10, 7/10. Now, for most people, this is like, what in the world is this? Right? It's like giving me, my heart starts beating fast. Like, oh my goodness, what is this? It's like crazy. So let's just take it over here and do it step by step. Okay. So if we do -4/15, we do the old school division bar and then we write our 7/10. Okay. Now, if we go back to our keep, change, flip, remember, we have to keep this the same. -4/15. We have to change this to multiplying. And then we flip this to 10/7. Okay. Don't you flip it? Yes. We have to flip this side. The right side. Okay. So it will be 10 times 4. Yes. It will be, but I'm always going to tell you to cross simplify. And what do I mean by that is I'm going to look to see if I can simplify by anything. Well, I can divide this by 5 and I can divide this by 5. So 10 divided by 5 is going to be a 2. And then 15 divided by 5 is going to be a 3. And why I'm doing that is because I don't want to have to reduce. See, you got 40/150, which is perfect, but then you're going to have to reduce. So -4 times 2 gets me 8 over 3 times 7, which is 21. And so we would get x is greater than, we've got a negative here. Don't forget your negative. -8/21. And that would be our answer. We can't see? Oh, sorry. Let me scoot it over a little bit. Oh, my thumb. Oh, this thumb thing right here. I don't know how to, you guys, I don't even know why that's there. So sorry. I don't even know like how to even move that thing. I don't even know. That's the first time I've seen it. I don't know if it's something I pressed. Yes. Look, you guys see it now? Yeah, that thumb. I know. It's messing me. It's like, why is it even there? You're good now? Okay, perfect. All right, let's keep on going with these advanced inequalities. And then we're going to get to functions, y'all. Okay? The dreaded functions, right? Whew. Okay. So let's keep on going with these inequalities. All right. So we want to get rid of this -4. Okay. Remember, it's division. So we want to do the opposite of that by multiplying by -4 to both sides. So we get 20. And remember, whenever you divide by a negative or multiply by a negative, you have to flip the sign. Hey, baby. You woke up? And then we have 10 parenthesis, these cancel, x minus 2. All right. Now we're going to want to distribute here, which means we're multiplying that 10 to everything in the parenthesis. And we get 10x. 10 times negative 2 is negative 20, which is less than or equal to, or 20. That's the less than. All right. This time, since the 10x is on the right side, we're going to move this negative 20 over here. So we're going to add 20. Wait, did I flip my sign? Yeah, okay. So we're going to add 20 over here, okay, to cancel that out. And we get 40 is less than or equal to 10x. We want 10 by itself. X by itself. So we're going to divide both sides by 10. And we get 4 is less than or equal to x. Or you can write this as x is greater than or equal to 4. Both of these mean the same thing. Why did you flip the sign? I flipped the sign here because I multiplied by a negative. And whenever you divide or multiply by a negative, you have to flip the sign. Now, why I flipped the sign here is because I flipped the direction of the x and the y. So if I put the x on the left side, then I have to flip the sign again. I know. He's 8 months now. And he is talking up a storm. Oh, let me tell you guys, okay? He's making all kind of noise. He's my first baby. My last baby and my first baby to say mama first. I was like, oh, it's meant to be. Come here. Huh. You said mama first. Since all my other kids said dada first, he's the first one that said mama first. We'll see how long he lets me stay, y'all. The baby is like, y'all tripping? Nah. All right, let's do this fraction one, okay? Let's multiply here and here. Let's multiply this out. So what we're doing is, I'm going to show you what this means over here to a little side note, okay? Oh, and that little finger is messing us up. So I'm going to write it up here. I wish I knew how to get rid of that. So 1/4, and then remember this is times 8. But every whole number can be written over 1, you guys. So really this is 8/4. So when we multiply this, really what we're doing is dividing each of these by 4. So we could write this as 8/4 minus 12d/4 is less than, and we're doing the same thing here, but we have a 2 here. So what that means is we're doing 2/5 times 10/1. So we're going to do 2 times 10 is 20 over 5 times 1 is 5. That's what's actually happening here when we distribute here, okay? So we're going to write this as 20d/5. I'm just doing it step by step because some people struggle with actually seeing it. So that's why I'm doing this, okay? And then we would do 2/5 times 15. So 2 times 15 is 30/5, okay? Now let's actually divide these out, right? So 8 divided by 4 is 2, minus 12 divided by 4 is 3d, less than 20 divided by 5 is 4d, plus 30 divided by 5 is 6. And this is what you would end up with. Good, yes. Perfect way to remember that. So, okay, I'm just going to move this over here, okay? I'm going to move this over here because I want my D's on the left side. because most multiple choice questions will always have the variable on the left side. So we're going to subtract 4D to both sides. Okay. And we're going to drop down our 2. Minus 7D is less than, drop down our positive 6. Now we want to move that positive 2 to the other side. Okay. So we're going to subtract 2, and then we get negative 7D is less than 6 minus 2 is 4. Whenever you have a number attached, remember we have to divide. That's the opposite of multiplication. And we're going to divide by negative 7. So we get D. We're dividing by a negative, so we flip that sign. 4 over negative 7. And that is our beautiful answer. I wish you guys could see me right now. You're like, you holding your baby and doing math? That's how it goes. Huh. Any questions on that one? Any questions? Thank you for the follow. Why you flip it? So I had to flip the inequality because the rule says whenever you divide or multiply by a negative number, which we did here, we divided by a negative number, we have to flip the inequality sign. Yep. So does that make sense now why we had to flip it, you guys? So whenever you divide or multiply by a negative number, you have to flip the sign in inequalities. Yep. Wonderful. So what if it's positive? If you're dividing, see, like here we divided by a positive number. We did not flip our sign here because we divided by a positive number. But we had to flip it. So this is one answer. But if you want to write it where the variable is on the left side, then you have to flip the inequality because you're flipping the direction. Because you're reading this, this says 4 is less than X. So this is saying if we say 4 is less than X, that means X has to be greater than 4. And so when you write it with the variable, you just have to make it like 4. This is saying X is greater than 4. Does that make sense, you guys? Because they always have to. Yes, exactly. You said they always have to ask for an extra step to confuse us. Exactly. Okay, good. It says, do you follow the inequality? Wait, let me see. Sorry. Do you follow the inequality rule with these problems, or are these different rules? No, this is the inequality rule. Inequality rule says if you divide or multiply by a negative, you got to flip it. Flip the inequality. Okay. No worries. No worries. No worries at all. Those are great questions, you guys. Okay, I don't think all the problems, I wrote this, and I don't think all of our problems are gonna, like I might have to scoot this one over a little bit. So, we'll see how long little man lets us go. We're gonna keep on going. He's chilling right now. But you know how babies are, okay? So this is the basic for the GRE functions, okay? So this is the basic, okay? So what is the domain of this function? All right, can anybody tell me? Give me the first domain in our, what's the domain in this? What would you guys say? PK, yes. Yep. I have a bachelor's degree in math. Does anybody know? Okay. So domain is another word for basically what are the x's in the order pair. Remember, order pair always are x, then y, x, then y, x, then y, x, then y, x, then y. So what that question is asking you for is, what are all the x's? So we could say -3, -2, -1, 0, and 1. This is why math is so tricky, right? Is because one, you have to know the language. But if they could just say, what are the x's? And you know that this is that the order pair is x and y, wouldn't that be so much simpler to ask this than what is the domain of this function? It's like, it's the language, right, that throws us off. Because if you could understand, oh, it's just asking me for all the x's in the order pair. That's the hard part about math. It's the language that you have to understand. Yeah, tell them, baby. So domain, remember, means x's, okay? All right, so what is the range of this function? Well, range is going to be, basically it's asking you what are the y's. So this is a y, this is a y, this is a y, this is a y. So all the y's out of these order pairs. So 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. This is the range. Good, Chaz. Yes. Oh, Blue seeing this after failing college algebra, dead. Oh man. Well, don't quit. You got to take it again. So keep on joining these lives. All right. So let's look at. Oh, so PK Strong telling me the next one. Yeah. Oh, what's going on? Yes, you talking? Okay. Yeah. There you go. Okay. So number 3. Write the equation y equals 2x plus 7 using function notation. So, oh, you guys can't really. Okay, so using function notation, okay? So function notation is something like this. And so really what you're doing is just doing f of x. So you're changing this y to f of x. And we know we're doing f of x because there's an x right here. And then you just put 2x plus 7. And that's how you go from linear equation to function notation. Oh, Megan, good. So your algebra course starts tomorrow. Perfect. Keep on joining my lives, Megan, and tell me what you're working on. And then we can do lives. We could do lives together. I mean, I could go over certain topics. How often do you go live? Desi. I've been slacking. I've been slacking for the last 2 months. But my goal, I'm going to hit my goal, is to go live Monday through Friday at least every week for this month of June. That's my goal. What time? I have no idea because I have 4 kids. So I don't want to say a time because whenever I say a time, I never can make it at that time. But my goal is to go every Monday through Friday. Okay. So it says, if f of x equals 4x plus 1, what is the value of f of -3? Whenever you see this, you guys, what this is telling you is that the x, that you have to plug in -3 for the x. So we could write this as 4 times -3 plus 1. So you're plugging in this -3 for the x. And we get -12 plus 1. Somebody owes you $12. They paid you $1. They still owe you 11. And then you can just write this as f of -3 equals -11. So what this means is my x value is -3. They want me to find out when x is -3, what does my y value equal to? Well, my y is going to be -11. So you can really write this point as -311. This translate -11. Oops, not +11. That's what this is what function notation means. Can you explain where in real life this kind of math is used? No, not this stuff, but what we were just working on, inequalities. You can use this in real math. When you have two, let's say you want to get a phone, right? You're looking at AT&T, T-Mobile, Verizon. You're looking at all their plans. You could ask if I pay this amount per month, which would be a better plan. This is what inequalities are. So you actually do use inequalities a lot in life. Like when they say you have to be 17 to get into the movie theater, 17 and up, right? That's how you would use that. But this stuff, functions, nah, I can't really say. Domain range. Now, but I don't know, because computer programming, right? I'm not a computer programmer, but they could probably explain more. All right, let's keep on going. So we're using basic math, okay? This is the basic for the GRE. So we're doing very beginner stuff. If f of x equals negative, parenthesis x minus 4, what is the value of f of -7? So again, remember, when it's asking you -7, you're plugging that in for the x. So we can write this as -2, parenthesis, -7 minus 4. -7. So you have to do what's inside the parenthesis first, order of operations. So -7 minus 4 is -11. And then we have a -2 times that. So a negative and a negative is a positive, and 2 times 11 is 22. And this would be our answer. Okay. That would be our answer. Any questions on this one? Thank you for the double taps, you guys. That one made sense? Good. Where did you get the 11? From doing -7 minus 4. So somebody owed me $7, and then they said, let me get 4 more. So they owed me a total of -$11. They're in debt. Great question. I would say this is Algebra 1. You will learn this in Algebra 1, maybe 8th grade, if you're advanced. How do you get the 22? By doing 2 times 11. That's how we got 22. Great questions, you guys. Great questions. Yep, you're so welcome, Desi. So let's go to number 2. Okay. So number 2 says, what is the range of the function f of x? F of x equals 6 plus x if the domain, so remember what domain means x's, right? Is -4, 0, and 4. So what this is telling you, we have to plug in -4 for the x to find out what we would get for our y. No, Nancy, I do not tutor organic chem. When I was going to be a nurse, I thought I was going to be a nurse. But that would have been terrible because I don't even like sickness and I don't even like sick people. So it's like, what was I thinking? I was thinking about the money. But when I was going to be a nurse and I took organic chem, I used to love that stuff. But when you don't use it, you lose it. You know what I mean? And it's like so sad. Because I really liked it. I really enjoyed that. It's like a lot of math equations. 6 minus 4. 6 minus 4 is 2. Okay, so this is one of our ranges. Now we're going to plug in 0 here. So we get 6 plus 0 would give us 6. That's another one of our ranges. And then we're going to plug in 4 here. 6 plus 4. I'm telling you guys, he's been talking he's been talking a whole bunch. 6 plus 4 is 10. So our range, which we found were our y's, is going to be 2, 6, and 10. That's our range. So what is the third number? Domain is -4 and y is 0. No, so the domain was 0 here because it was 0. So we plugged in 0 for the x. And when we did 6 plus 0, we got 6. So that's our range. And then when we plugged in 4 here, right? We plugged in 4. 6 plus 4 is 10. So when the domain is 4, so when our input is 4, our output is 10. Okay, that's another way you could say it. Inputs, these are the inputs, these are the outputs. And all that means is these are the x's and these were the y's that we found. Okay. Hey, man. You sitting up? You want to sit up? Come on. Oh. All right, let's look at number 3, you guys. Let's look at number 3. Okay. So if g of x equals x squared plus x, what is the value of g of 9? Again, what this is saying is when x is 9, which I'm going to plug in here and here, what is going to give me my y, or what is the range? So I could put 9 squared plus 9. Well, remember what 9 squared is. It's really 9 times 9. And 9 times 9 is 81. And then we would drop down that plus 9, which would give us 90. So when g of 9 is going to equal 90. I thought it was a -4. You're talking back up here. When we plugged in -4 for the x, which we did right here. Is that what you're talking about, Megan? So first we plugged in -4 right here. So we did 6. Oh, I could have wrote plus a -4. But a positive and a negative equals a negative. So that's why I just wrote 6 minus 4. But we could write it like this. 6 plus a -4, which will just be 6 minus 4. Is that what you meant? Oh, they're all separate equations to find the range. Yes. So the first plug-in we did was -4. This is the second plug-in that we did when we plugged in 0 here. And this one is the third. Sorry about that. Great question, because I'm sure other people were thinking that. This is the third plug-in where we plugged in a +4 for x. Codomain holds the range. Somebody said codomain holds the range. I get it now. I'm slow. No, you're not slow at all, Megan. Stop. No, don't say that. I'm sure other people were thinking the same thing I didn't explain. And this is the first one. So we plugged in each one. So we plugged in the first, second, and third. Thank you, Harley, for the roses. All right. Okay. So we have made it into the intermediate level. Thank you so much, baby, for the roses. Okay, so we have made it into the intermediate level of questions, okay? So it says, what is the minimum value for the function f of x equals x squared minus 5? Okay, so it's asking us for the minimum value. And this is a quadratic, you guys. So what we can use, well, if you know, I'm trying to think, like, would it be easier to graph it? If we graph this, but not everybody knows how to graph it, right? So I'm like, can we come up with the equation negative? Can we use x equals negative b over 2a? Would that work? Nah, because we ain't got no b. I'm trying to think. I mean, I guess we can't. Okay. So, okay, I'm going to show you this two ways, okay? I'm going to show you with using, I'm going to show you, okay, this is called how you would find the x. This is called the axis of symmetry, okay? It's many names. Axis of symmetry. This is also how you can find the x value of the vertex. Okay, there's a lot of vocab here. Okay, so the x value here. So a little bit that you would have to know is quadratic formulas written as ax squared plus bx plus c. Okay, so our a value here would be 1. And you see we have a b, that we don't have a b because there's no number x. So we have no b value. So we could just say our b value is going to be 0. Okay. It would be 0. So we would have, in this equation, our b would be 0. Our a would equal 1 here. So if we plugged in here, negative 0 over 2 times 1. Well, 0 divided by 2 is just 0, okay? So that would be our x value of our vertex. Now, if we plug in this 0 for the x's, we can find what the y value is. So if we plug in 0 for here, okay? So if we plug in 0 for this x into this equation, so I'm going to plug it over here. So I'm going to do 0 squared, okay, plugging in 0 here, minus 5. Well, 0 times 0 is 0, and 0 minus 5 is equal to negative 5. This is called your vertex, which is your highest or lowest point, okay? So it says, what is the minimum value of the function? The minimum value would be negative 5. So I'm going to graph this for you so you guys can get a visual of why this. Oh, you guys, it's making me, I don't know if you guys can still hear me. It's making me do refresh. Oh. Oh, man. Okay, it's going to have me refresh in like 3 minutes, but I'm just going to finish with this problem, okay? So I want to graph this, okay? Whenever you have x squared, it's a U shape, okay? And since we have this negative 5 here, that's on our y-axis. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So this will be our point, and then we will go over 1, over 1. And so our parabola, I don't know if you ever heard that term before, but parabola, our U-graph, would look like this. So when they say, what's the minimum value? Well, your minimum value is negative 5 because that's the lowest that this graph would be because it goes up. So that's why this is a minimum here. The minimum value is negative 5. I hope that makes sense. Does that make sense, you guys? So that's your answer. So you could have, if you knew that what graph this looked like, You could have saw it right away as -5. You did not have to do all this work, right? We did not have to do that. We could have just graphed it and showed that the minimum value was -5. If you know how to graph it. But if you don't know how to graph it, then this is another way that you can get it. Get your vertex. All right, you guys. It's going to make me reset and end the live in 1 minute. Thank you so much for hanging with me. I will be on sometime tomorrow. Have a wonderful rest of your Sunday. Be blessed. Bye, you guys.